and Jenny, and the chair is here. We're going to move forward. So anyway, any questions about the minutes? We won't adopt them, but if there's any questions about those, anything we need to review, then if not, I'll move forward.
We'll move on until either later.
Yeah.
Or next meeting.
Okay, so Iro, fundraising, we got a handout here.
Yeah, it's in the packet. Two is the staff report on this year's fundraiser. Quick highlights, it was held on Thursday, May 14th at the Fairview Food Plaza. We had, we estimated about 100 people in attendance, give or
Good.
take. I will say this year did feel that we had more folks in attendance specifically for the fundraiser. I'm not sure if the weather had anything to do, but last year it was a little nicer, so we had the bays open, and so the space was a little busier just on its own. But this year it did seem that folks were really intentional. Those that were there for the event. So,
Yeah.
We had electeds in attendance, quite a bit of sponsors this year, which is really nice. You know, we've really haven't been able to draw their attention to it. They've been able to help us out, but just to the event. But this year we had a little bit more. And then obviously we had testimonial videos from the parent and then a few participants that I think really kind of tied everything together a little bit. There were shorter videos, but I think still the essence presented of the importance of PlayEast, and folks were able to capture that through those short testimonials.
And let me, I thought that the videos were good. I mean, we broadened it, Iro, and the testimony was Pete. Who was the person that?
The parent?
Yeah. Benny, that's right. He was sitting at a
He
table.
was, yeah, he was even impressed, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I thought that was, and he was very, kind of charismatic as he was talking about it. Was he driving? It looked like he was in a car.
At least he was in the vehicle, we know that much.
He's looking for a quiet spot because they have a
But
toddler.
anyway, I thought that was a nice addition to let the testimonial. And of course, the others also were, I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
What did we follow up? What followed that? There's something else on my mind. Was that
I think what followed that was the performances.
the football? Okay.
Yeah, and then so after that, we had Tippy Toes. This year, they performed three songs, which was good, and they were short, but it really, I think, the highlight of the night. And so that's something we started last year and continued on this year. And so again, those are just opportunities that we provide them to showcase what they've been able to learn during the time of the program. And so we do have other times during other events that we allow them to highlight. What they're learning, attract more people to participate into our program as well. So that was well received.
Do we do any videos or pictures of the kids in the activities? Like actually doing the classes or the sports? Or?
Yeah, so we do have a video loop that plays during the event, and it does highlight some pictures that we've taken over the course of the year. We highlight sponsors, raffles, so it's kind of all looping prior to the event kind of kicking off. And then while folks are eating, it's kind of just in the loop. Because we're kind of in that back corner, we're only stuck on that smaller screen. So if you're really not paying attention, then you kind of miss it a little bit. The first couple of years, we were more closer to the bar and we used that bigger screen. But again, for what we moved towards and kind of created the space, like that space really does work better for us. Maybe another time we could just grab a moment and play that loop of videos, in a piece of just the event, to say, hey, take a quick look of what we've done and just play that video before something else happens. So that's something.
In fact, is that you should make a note, Hiro, on your minutes that that's probably a good reminder that the MC can call that out and let people know that throughout this today, and I didn't do that, but that'd be a good reminder.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it in other events where it's just like, oh, here's a small video. I think because we didn't have the performances or the testimonials, so it just kind of fills in that
Oh, okay.
space. But I think again, it's a great opportunity to, again, because we showcase most of all of our programs that we can get to, so all of our other, piano and sports programs as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also, again, I liked when the kids, you interview the kids,
That was, yeah.
and you say, what did you like about PlayEast? That's powerful.
And
Yeah,
that was something we were trying to work with parents. Some parents, they mentioned yes, but obviously just trying to coordinate that piece is a little hard. So we have some things planned for this coming up year, and so I'll share more about that, what that looks like a little later on in this section. But really, again, the goal is to highlight those participants.
okay.
I just had one note, and you and I actually talked about it that night, is in the future, pulling the table out so we can have people going down both sides for food.
Oh, food,
because
yeah.
the line was just really long.
Jenny, I had that on my notes here.
Okay.
Lines, and yeah, it's because it does, and we modified the agenda a bit and had people eat first. And I think that worked better. And we need two lines.
Yeah.
That was, I'm glad that Tyro, you and I were talking about it, and we just adjusted that, but I think people were more relaxed. They're not hungry, their kids are fed. So I think on the agenda, make a note there, because I think that is a much better
Yeah, I got those
flow.
down to include for next year, so.
Perfect.
So this year, the goal was $40,000. That's what we budgeted for this event. Prior to the event, actually that Monday before the event, I had received an email from Amazon that they want to be a gold sponsor as well. So prior to that, we were at $40,420. That Monday, we were at $45,420. So either way, we hit our goal and then some. So that was just a big weight off our shoulders and things of that nature. And
Oh, my
that's typical. We typically have always kind of done the front loading of the fundraiser and really held that space as more of a celebration. And so we really modified that. And so when sponsors, ask us about, seats to the event, we just tell them it's not a traditional gala, but you are more than welcome to come, and we invite you all to come anyway, so they understand that component there. This year, we had a total of 23 sponsors, with 5 of them being new sponsors. And so it just kind of shows, again, to the growth of the fundraising and sponsorship. I remember there was a day where we had like 5. So, and so from there, it's, and those folks at that time were very gracious and did a lot of the bulk of it. Now, kind of spreading the love really kind of does tell a different story, where we've been able to, I'll use the word attract other investments by other companies or organizations that really lend to, again, the growth and what we've, one of our values of PlayEast is partnerships. To that. But again, with that, we had probably 6 to 8 previous sponsors that weren't able to donate this year. So again, weighing our options, if, we would have gotten a little something from there, we would have hit a bigger mark. But again, we'll continue to reach out to them as this year comes up and see if they're in a better position to support. Big thank you again to First Community Credit Union, $10,000 Premier Partnership. That's 8 years in a row. That is an incredible partnership and something we've been able to just continue to grow, and it's been mutual on both ends, and so they really appreciate what we provide them as just community connections and things of that nature. John talked about the raffle tickets. So we had 5 baskets that were at $10 a raffle ticket, and this year we tried something new with the golden ticket basket. It was a $50 ticket, but we only had 20 tickets available. Not sure if the limited number of tickets was really draw-in or just the nature of the basket, but all those tickets sold, so just that basket alone brought in $2,000. So overall, the raffle basket as a whole brought in just a little over $3,000, our most to date. Our biggest raffle items that we've been able to offer. So with that, I mean, a lot of additional conversations have happened with other sponsors of just opportunities for donations and things of that nature. So I think this is something we can capitalize for next year as well, a golden ticket.
Yeah, and Nancy and Annie,
Okay.
they deserve certainly a recognition for how they put that together
Yeah.
with their
good
little
job.
packets. They get additional things to match up to the item. And it's probably, because it's springtime, I think the outdoor stuff is, attractive. So yeah, and it's fun to see people, and this, it adds a little entertainment to our camp fundraiser and making money.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot. Did people overpay for tickets?
Yeah, that's not mapping.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got an extra $6.
No, it's 50 times 20 is $1,000.
Then we must have made a little more on the other.
On the other, that's what I was wondering, because I figured you have the
Yeah.
the total.
Because we got the total from the software. So
Yeah.
the total was the $3,000, maybe my math wasn't that.
The end result's the same.
The end Yes, as a total raffle basket, the raffle items did bring in
That's good- that's good money.
$3,000, so.
Yeah.
And it doesn't diminish that,
No.
the golden ticket brought in $1,000.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's a quick.
I like that you only did 20 tickets
Yeah.
for that too.
I think that
That
plays.
motivated people to feel like they had a chance.
Yeah, yeah, and that was really the goal, was to, just kind of have some fun with it. Many years ago, I've been to other raffle or to, galas, and they've done things like that, and you're like, oh, okay, I spend $100 and potentially get $1,000 worth of a value and something like that. So, yeah, it's just a great opportunity there.
Let's see.
Just quickly, as we look at expenditures, all of our expenditures came to $4,326. For the event, we budgeted $5,000, so we're under the budgeted goal. As it mentioned in the staff report, something, it's the price of doing it there, but the food has increased over the years. But again, right now that space has really been optimal for what we're trying to do. So, we'll continue to work with the operator to still have some good opportunities there.
Yeah.
Moving forward, so.
I wrote for just a note for next year, so you have it, is Weston, although they raised it to $1,200 this year, they would prefer to co-op the food. It would make it easier for them.
Yeah.
And you and I know how many steps it is up at Weston to get a check and to give them the information they need to get reimbursed by Kia. And I've learned a whole bunch about how these automobile dealerships get reimbursed for their advertising. And they have to submit very specific stuff. And the picture we have this year, by the way, we couldn't see Weston. Remember the kids, did you remember the?
Oh, they were in front?
They were right in front of it. When I gave Dave the picture, I had nothing to say except, yes, that's not a very good picture.
It's just,
We'll do
it's
better next-
all about the kids, and
Yeah.
the photo shows
Right.
that.
We'll do better next year. But what we did talk through, he and I, that he would rather co-op the food. He asked me, how much money do you spend on the food?
Yeah,
I didn't have a number, but I think you might get, you could possibly get 15 or $2 grand.
Yeah, I mean,
It all,
That's an easy.
it all pays.
Easy thing that we can put together. You know, we're more than willing to work with our sponsors. We have other sponsors that want to be more, again, intentional. So one donates specifically to our summer lunch program. And so we kind of cost out what something like that would look like. And we say, hey, a week costs us X. You know, is that something you're interested in? And they'll do it. So, I mean, there's means and ways to, again, work with our sponsors to, so they are, you know, feel benefited to doing this.
Yeah, they like the program.
And so, as, again, the staff report talks about looking forward, believe it or not, we're entering our 10th year of existing for PlayEast. So, I mean, that is a huge milestone. So we've been talking internally of potential ideas for this coming up fundraiser. I put a little pendant on each of y'all to take home. It's our celebrating 10 years. It's huge. So some concept that we've been kind of considering is doing a video montage where I would reach out to original task force members, electeds during that time, obviously staff. Hopefully I can get in contact with the original recreation manager and just, you know, do some interviews per se, capturing what maybe a perspective or a hope of there was back then, and then start playing that timeline of 10 years and showing really the growth of the program from even just like the evolution of our guide to, you know, what we've been able to create during that time and utilize that video for multiple things. We can take snippets out of it to promote the upcoming fundraiser, utilize it for obviously attracting more folks as really saying, hey, look at our sustainability that we've been able to do over 10 years, grants, opportunities, and obviously showcase it during our 10th year anniversary. So that's kind of a thought process for staff. Obviously, we get more kind of swag around the 10-year anniversary, stickers, maybe we really want to get the board a shirt with 10 years, come on, you know, really calling that out and things of that nature. So I think it'd be something, again, worth celebrating, because I didn't think we'd be, I don't think we'd be here, but it's just surreal to be here now.
Yeah.
So just want to open that up to the board also to have other discussions, ideas. You know, we're still early on, but I think let's plan now, so by the time it gets here, we have something out.
Well, as Ira was talking, thoughts come up, and you'll have this on the agenda. But you got 2 months before the next agenda, but thoughts on that or?
For decorations,
Yeah.
we were really kind of lacking on decorations this year.
Well, it would sure
And I
be.
think that's because the Community Engagement Committee used to help us out with that, and they are no more. So, but yeah, especially for a big celebration, we need big
Yeah,
decorations.
yeah, for sure, at the campaign
Yeah.
fundraiser. It's a good talking point when we're talking to contributors and potential donors. Some of them have been with us a long time. And maybe we give them a special recognition for those that have been with us since the start, those that have been with us for 5 years or been incremental, and recognize them not only at the fundraiser, but when you're talking to them. That might also.
Because a few years ago, not last year, probably the year before that, we did recognize the First Community Credit Union because it had been 6 years. So we gave them a 5+ year little plaque.
And I thought we did for like.
Emerjet.
Yeah, Emerjet.
And I think that's it. But I think there's still another handful of folks, because I'm thinking of Lovett.
Yeah, he's been with us for a while.
So it's day one.
And
Jim Mott's been.
Jim, yes.
yeah,
Advanced
Metal and wire.
metal and wire. So I think there is a few, so I can do a list, and then we can recognize the sponsors that have been with us for, you know, that time. It kind of, it's weird because that offsets, because first grade credit union's 9 years, but we're 10 years, so, you know, we'll have to wait till they're 10 years, but I think it's something good, so.
If I could throw out a thought, I mean, it's not a sexy one or anything, but it might be interesting at some point during the year for the board to sit down and really look at where did the program start, how did it evolve, and then what are some, without creating like a work plan or strategic plan, but kind of what are some of the thoughts for the next 10 years? What are some of the goals or objectives that you all want to look at, focus on, prioritize for the next decade?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's sexy work, but.
I think something that we've always talked about has been a strategic plan, and we've never been able to do one. And I think now, I think it's time, right? 10 years?
Because I believe when the thought was first thrown out, then COVID hit, so it became very, pivot and just keep going, and then, oh, now we're growing, we're thriving, so it's also, 10 years,
I think that could be something in one of our upcoming meetings. At least start the conversation and start talking about, okay, when do we pick it back up? Obviously, well before the fundraiser, as maybe a way to say, hey, the boards, here's our goals moving forward, sharing those goals with the community, and our sponsors can be very sexy and attractive, right? They can understand, it's like, hey, here's the vision of.
Well, and yeah, that is probably critical work. And as we get down here and we talk about the new pilot program, that is, can all, well, this part of the conversation segues into that. But those are the kinds of things that the board needs to spend some time on. So keep thinking about what you envision, PlayEast. I mean, what would it look like? What do we want it to look like? And how do we better serve the community and kids? That's really how we can do that.
I look for Gresham and Troutdale to join us. That's my vision for the future. And I think that would be fantastic in everybody's best interest, especially the kids, so that's my vision. And the driving force behind this in the beginning was Ted Tosterud. He pushed it to the max.
Yeah.
And I think he should be.
he wanted to get our own bus and start like
He wanted to.
busing kids around to activities. I
did.
remember that.
And he pushed it. Even his own council was against him. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. We have, and we've gone, we're not busing them, we're going to them, which I think is certainly might grow. And especially as we branch out and, it's pretty obvious people are asking us to be a part of it. And so we may pick up ideas from those, from Gresham at some point that could help us set a vision for the next 10 years. So.
I mean, again, we started something with that as a pilot program through some grant funding, and it's shown fruit of doing mobile recreation. So as an expansion, that could be another pilot program to talk to other neighboring cities.
You'll have a
and say,
whole fleet of party wagons.
After then, build a building to park all the police.
So the city of Seattle pivoted their whole recreation department during COVID and moved to mobile. So they invested in
Is that right?
16 to 17 fleets, and that's how they did their recreation department.
Oh,
So it's very innovative, and I'm not saying we should do that, but I mean, it's very effective, and so others have done it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pros and cons with that, right? Because you're not having to build capital, and it's a lot less risk management than busting them to you going to them. So there's things to consider. But again, for the summertime, it's something really beneficial that we have
Yeah.
our portfolio per se, so.
Yeah, and I think if, as numbers grow, and if Troutdale and Gresham want to join up, there'd be more need to have possibly vehicles to get to places in Gresham.
Yeah.
I mean, the advantage of that is, it's just, we all recognize it. Parents can't get kids to places, all of those kinds of reasons. So, other thoughts? Don't want to cut off any good ideas because they're flowing tonight.
And again, this is something we'll bring up again, so won't be our last conversation on this.
Okay. Spring recap.
In your packet, once again, there's a staff report on kind of where we are, I think projected, because we still have kind of the middle part of this month to wrap up our spring program. But we've currently served 377 registered participants. This is a huge increase,
Big in.
34% increase from last year. But even taking kind of how we were trending the last couple of terms, we're decreasing on our participation. So, things staff, I think contributed to this is kind of moving to that monthly programming for some of our programming. Have, I think, done a lot of fruit in lens of, parents, as they like our programming and like the commitment. The way we're structured, we take a payment up front. This kind of brings it down a little bit. So folks can pay monthly programming versus 2 months worth of programming within 1 hit. So, kind of taking that into consideration, our registration revenue is more on par of what we did last year with an 8% increase. So, we kind of anecdotally, we could say we probably are serving the same amount of kids we did last year. But again, since they register multiple times, those count as registrations for us and serve participants. But again, this news is good news because at least towards leading into the summer months, we're trending upward the way we want to be. And it seems that folks are still engaged with what we're offering and things of that nature.
Do we track, so you said every registration, even if they do month over month, is a new registration. Do we track just individuals, how many individuals we're serving?
We don't, and the reason why, we still factor that there's still a touch point with those families in each individual time. And so, we can try and see, if we can track them as unique participants. But because again, sometimes folks register for multiple classes also are that uniqueness just, one time only, or the one time per class, per program per se, because sometimes folks do, like our tippy toes, our dance, right? So that's monthly, but they'll also do our soccer program. So does that still count as 2 or does that count as 1? So that's kind of, nuance we kind of have to apply into our filters per se to say, okay, what are we really looking for there?
Okay. And then something that just came to me while you were talking about that, some of these, some of the feedback that I've got is, and I've said it before, people don't know about PlayEast. Have we ever thought about maybe incentivizing the families? You bring a friend, and then your friend registers and you get $10 off your next month or $5 off your next month. Cap it if we want, but just to get the word out, get more kids coming. They bring their friends and expand to the group and kind of go from there.
Yeah, so we've tried similar iterations where it's just like a family discount, or so like if within the same transaction, if say brothers or siblings register for the same program, there is a discount for that. The type of discount you're looking for is it's a little bit more difficult through our current software system.
Okay.
So I will say we are currently looking for a new software system that can allow us a little bit more freedom to allow some of these things, because What we're seeing is, again, still, 10 years out there, we still get a lot of, this is the first time we're hearing about you all, right? And so we're at the Saturday markets and so, what are you guys, we didn't know you guys. So we're trying to create incentives also where it's just like, at those touch points, it's like, register right now, get, percentage off. And so I think this new system that we're looking into does allow us more of that we can, not have to do something global where it could just be this instance only, where it's just like, oh yeah, you brought in 2 referrals, here's, this as a credit for next time, or get a percentage for your next class. So we are looking into those, but again, it's probably looking to a new system. I think by September, we'll have a decision of what that looks like with the new system as well, so. But those are good things we're thinking about.
Incentivizing is, that's interesting. You made me think of this too, as you were talking. That one of the ways we could also do it, and Ira, you've done some of this, but all the elementary schools, if we could get into there and let the principal or the counselor know and get that information out to teachers at that level, that would also be a way to approach that. So I know you've done some of it because we've had overlap with some school.
So right now what we're working is more on like events at schools where, Nancy and Annie are tabling and then capture registration right there. It's they can do like a 25% off registration right away. And so we're trying to do something like that, but I think again, until we get that new software, it's just really, our current system isn't really set up to be easy in that retrospect, right? Because it'd be a lot of back and forth. Have you done this? Okay, now it's my turn to do this. All right, now do this. And with the new system, the one we're looking at, we can say, okay, everybody can get this blanket and, offer and things like that, or just be more streamlined where it's a really easy process. So, really never had a software system that fits all our true needs, but right now we are finding one that fits a lot more of our needs, and so we're really exploring those options. And again, change is sometimes difficult, but sometimes needed for something better results. So that's really what we're looking at.
And to piggyback off of John, I was also thinking in lines with the school, we get flyers or just, one piece of paper that, something during registration, school registration. Because I know registering my kids throughout the years, you leave with a packet, of all of the things on the tables. And that might be something good to put in there, for starting in the fall.
Yeah, so we're trying to work with the schools to get us on there, like let us know in advance of what they're doing this last start of the school year. We were at Fairview Elementary and Hall Elementary, which did render a lot of fruit, especially at Hall Elementary, because they're like, oh, you guys do this here? It's like, we've been doing it for a while. With the Red Oak School District, it's a little easier because we actually have access to their peach jar. So we can, independently, we can go in there and upload flyers and then it gets sent out through their peach jar software. Gresham Barlow School District is a little bit more cumbersome, so we have to jump through some hoops to kind of get it out there. But being at those schools is very important as well. So we're trying both methods, so the peach jar and in person. So we're trying to work with the schools to say, don't think of us as a last stop, think of us in your first thoughts. Talking about that, we were going to be at Fairview Elementary for their field day on this Thursday. So they're going to be tabling with that component of like giving them information and then seeing if we can capture on-site registrations as an opportunity again to engage with them.
Are we being proactive with the schools too? I mean, I don't know about your guys' like children's situation or but are we, kind of just keeping in the back of our mind, when is school registration? When are they doing their fundraisers? Like, when do we start getting the popcorn from the Boy Scouts and the sausages and all that stuff? Are we kind of loosely tracking that so that we could be proactive as well?
Yeah, so again, Justin being the representative of the school district, he's a great resource. He usually, him and I keep in touch during the summertime as things come up. Again, we're all, at least the three staffers, we all have school-age kids, and so we kind of are keeping track on that just personally, so we know, hey, this is coming up, that's coming up. One of the program coordinators, their kids go to MLA elementary, so they're also in the loop of that. They're like, hey, we can put these things out here, and so loosely, yes, but we also try to be proactive and say, hey, we understand, the beginning of the school year is coming up. You guys have things, so it's just trying to wait for that communication on the other side.
Okay.
And Hyro, and this is, it's maybe time consuming, but making an appointment with an elementary principal and say you'd like to come over there, or have a board member make contacts that can go in and meet personally with the principal and take information and let them know in a personal way about PlayEast. That begins to make that personal connection so that when it's the parent group that you're talking to, the principal knows and helps to project PlayEast. And we build that real connection at that personal level. And it's not that hard to get into elementary principal. High school principals, a little harder. But if Justin could maybe do an introduction at the beginning of next year, that a PlayEast representative will be contacting for a 20-minute personal meeting and will bring information. I think that also could help make that personal contact. And I'll tell you, those elementary principals, they know the kids that don't have any money. They know the kids that need socks and shoes, and they, so I think that personal contact is always important.
Yes, the benefit we've had with Fairview Elementary is the consistency of leadership there. And so can't say that with other schools. And so staff turnover has been a big part of why we haven't been able to keep up that communication with them. Because prior to that, we had great communication with the three elementary schools within Fairview. And then we were growing with MLA. So Woodland and Sailor's Pond, Fairview Elementary were the three around here that we really focused on and had that, we're building that connection, but staff turnover, the pandemic really kind of, made us think of a lot of things. But even right now, internally, staff has, done proactive things. And so Nancy and Annie have gone to these elementary schools and say, hey, can we drop off flyers?
Good.
If you guys need anything, here's our contact. And so we are being intentional, trying to reconnect with some of these schools that we haven't connected for a while. I just think so much is going on also. They're just not knowing where sometimes that the resource that they need is right there. So we'll continue that. And so, we'll continue to ask Justin to keep us in mind as school starts to encourage at least these local schools to get us on their calendar for back to school nights and other events that we can be a part of as well.
Interesting in looking at the numbers where you see maybe where there is a bit of drop compared to previous, the previous years is definitely, Q2, some of Q3, and looking back what was going on during that time with all the immigration and the clients and guests that we serve. I mean, we saw it as a city in our events too. So, I mean, it would seem that could be, anecdotally attributed to some of the declines that maybe you won't see in the future.
And even in Q1, we kind of hit that mark of like folks feeling the
Financial pressures
and things like that. So those were things we did hear during that time. So, over the course of the whole year, I mean, we'll take it as a win at the end, how we ended the year. And how close we were to last year. So, I mean, I told Greg and Nathan, if we do take, last year as an outlier out, like, I mean, we're still trending in the direction we should be. But we also knew that there'd be ups and downs in these years. We couldn't always be on the winning side of everything. But again, we'll take what we learn and kind of adapt. And I think that's what we did this year, especially for camps. Last year or this last summer, we had over like 50 camps offered. Now we're focusing on, I think, like 25 camps. Again, trying to capitalize more on and refocus some of this energy and seeing what the need is out there again. So we're learning, we're adapting, and hopefully for some benefit for us.
Other questions or information that you might need? Then let's move on to the new Gresham pilot program, and that was sent out. And you had a chance to look at it, but Ira will take it.
Yes. In the staff report, kind of gives you a quick snapshot of what happened. I will say this was a conversation that happened within the course of 3 weeks, perhaps, and it was quite quickly. It was kind of surprising on our end, but just understanding there's a need, and so we always want to see there's a possibility that we can step in and fill that need. Gresham reached out to us as we were talking about current contract extensions and presented what would it look like if we took over their summer lunch sites. They understand that we have our summer lunch site and has been pretty successful, so they wanted to explore that option. Originally, this was a one-site proposal, and for us, it really made sense to do Red Sunset as we currently do programming for the summer there. We said 2 birds with 1 stone, why not? They kind of countered and say their council was really focused on Main City Park. So if one location was going to be, it was going to be Main City Park. If we wanted to do Red Sunset, we would have to do both sides. So with that information, kind of put a new proposal together of what 2 sites potentially could cost us as to operate it. I will say that this proposal, and I included the proposal in the packet, is I would say a friendly proposal, understanding that it's a pilot program. That's really how I stated it to Gresham representatives, that this is not something that would, if the evaluation of this year came, and it was really fruitful for both sides, this would probably not be the cost for an actual proposal moving forward, just because there's a lot of components that we understand are present there that maybe others don't quite understand. And so I said, we could assume absorb some of the costs just to kind of get something going. And a lot of it, really in the proposal, it's really to cover cost of staffing, additional staffing, nothing much more than that. But again, talking with them, I said a more detailed proposal would include overhead, supervision, and other components that aren't truly reflected in here as well. With that said, I think Gresham, one of their biggest components of them jumping on this was learning that Gresham Barlow School District did not receive money for summer learning this year. So understanding that there was going to be that gap, as a city, they could feel that they could have another gap. And so at the end, I put a proposal with I think it was $34,500 for both sites, and they agreed to it. I spoke to John about it. It was kind of coming to the end, just because everything needed to start. We have a process internally that we had to start, and things like that. And again, ideally, this would have been brought to the board prior to have full discussion and those conversations, but just kind of everything timeline not being on our side, just kind of felt that this was something we really could handle moving, doing it this way. But again, as next year comes, if this is something they want us to continue, it be at a different, more comprehensive proposal.
Yeah, it's, and sometimes, there was a previous, earlier this year or last year, something happened and we had to move quick on it. But this, I mean, to me, this is the segue to the conversation on vision or goals over the next 2-3 years to, run it out to 10. 5 is probably most realistic, but this is an opportunity to really see how this works. And I think it's an opportune time. And so sometimes these things come and the staff does have to act on them. And so the board will have a chance to monitor this, and Hyro will be bringing information. So thanks. And I'm glad that, and I don't know if there's any other questions. Anybody, I don't want to stop the conversation, but.
Yeah, well, this really presents an opportunity for us, something that we slowly, I think, have developed and created as part of PlayEast, and is really that summer employment aspect of it, and really providing that workforce development. So, but this provides us a unique opportunity to, create supervisorial roles at 2 locations, and then they would be overseeing, some rec aides that would do more of like, the engagement with the kids. But really, again, looking at what other programs and iterations have done in years past, as the county used to have a program called Strive, which stood for Striving to Reduce Youth Violence Everywhere. That really was a youth work development program with other components, and so it's something that we could tie in maybe in the future and look for other grant funding. But again, just within the recognition of PlayEast, understanding that this is a huge ask, that we've been doing this at the park for at least 7 years and has grown each year from there. And so I think, again, providing youth with this maybe first time work experience has been beneficial. I gotta say, Nancy kind of started in this realm many years ago, and she's now a program coordinator. So, there is a path moving forward in doing this. And so, again, yes, this could be a part of that conversation of the strategic planning of what does 5 years from now look like, or what are we as PlayEast doing and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really comforting that Gresham feels we're a trusted partner. And it's a foot in the door as far as I'm concerned, and a great opportunity. And you think we can do it, then I'm all for it. If not,
And I really did think about it, and that was really the point of all this, was saying, it's just like, oh, why don't you guys just do it? I was like, we can't just do it. There's no just do it. I said, there's some things that need to happen.
It says it on your water.
But it was just, I think it was a conversation starter, and I think it worked really well because, again, they've had other partners, but again, they see something in us, right, that they're really wanting to move forward with it. Eventually, having a conversation with them, it seems that they want to have one provider cover all of their sites. So that could be pretty big for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, I would have preferred starting out with one, but again, I understand we needed to do 2. But again, it could be a start to something bigger. And as next year's come, a different proposal will be put out, and now I stress that to them significantly, saying this is only for this year only. We want to be good partners, but understand there's a lot of cost that we are considering. But again, we want to help out. So.
And I think it'll be interesting, come September time when both entities are evaluating this and then looking to the future, if it's showing fruit, how Gresham has the MOPI program, which parts of it can, whether it's through Gresham directly or it's grantees, have youth workforce opportunities. I mean, if it turns out, no, we want to keep doubling the sites every year until it's covering all of Gresham, and, there's EMOPI money behind it, it's kind of a win-win where Gresham's not paying full freight and, Recreation is getting the personnel it needs to run.
So it'd be really allowing us to do a bunch of more free programming in spaces that are needed, right? Parks, locations, neighborhoods where, again, probably folks are the ones that are needing us coming to them versus them coming to us. So really, again, an opportunity, and again, the evaluation that is very important piece of it. And so again, but I did say, we need to have an evaluation kind of quickly after this program, because I want to have something in place no later than the end of this year, because again, of the process that needs to happen.
Good. Well, thank you, Jairo,
Yeah,
for
great work.
responding to that. Summer events.
Last thing on the agenda that we put together is I wanted the back of your packet is this calendar, and this is just kind of showcasing events that PlayEast will be a part of or hosting itself. And so the first two are two partnering cities. They're kind of ones that they're National Night Out, and then there's Fairview Summerfest, so we'll be at both those events. And then the last one is the PlayEast Rec Night. This is kind of our event that we do for the summer. Last year, we had the focus of bringing out all our providers, really highlighting, giving communities an opportunity to come showcase what programs we offer during the year. And that's really what we want to focus on this year as well. What we've been able to do also through some grant funding and some partnerships is provide back to school items. So last year was our first year where we provided a full backpack full of back to school supplies. And this year we are gracious enough that we'll be dedicating somebody 200 backpacks to us. Somebody already donated like 100 full sets of back to school supplies. So we'll just need to fill in that other 100 to have 200 backpacks. But it's a free event for the community. There's food, there's, again, most of our providers are there. And then again, it's just to showcase what they do during the fall, and again, trying to capture some of those registrations. And again, we let them know we have scholarships available. They can register for those, apply for those right then and there, or give them all the information on where to look for a later date. So just again, wanting to get this out there to the board so you guys know where we were at during the summer. If you wanted to come and join us for some fun.
I'll be there.
I know you will be there. At least for 2 days.
Well, yeah, I meant for rec night, I'll be there. It's good food.
And that's all I had on the agenda myself.
Other items from anybody?
I would like to circle back to our adopt the minutes.
Yeah.
Forum.
Good.
So,
Is there a motion to adopt the minutes, please?
I move to adopt the minutes.
Second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Folks, I have a little bit of an announcement here. This is my last meeting. And it's, I'm not going away mad, but it's a time when my wife and I have been traveling, and it's also a time where I have other family members. We know we have a son in New York, and you may or may not know that, and a son in Texas and grandkids there. So as much as I like this and really have enjoyed being on PlayEast, and I've only been on it maybe 4 years, I think, but as much as I've enjoyed this and really committed to what PlayEast is about, tonight's conversation is very important, because there is a next phase to PlayEast. So, and I know that, I'm confident that staff and with Jairo's leadership and with a committed board, I think the sky's the limit for PlayEast, and I always have. So that's, will be next meeting, Jenny. There's going to be, you'll go through the election. Jairo will follow all that with you. So, thank you. And I will see you at some PlayEast events.
I did want to point out, it's buried in the bylaws, though, that when and if you leave, your annual contribution triples.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
For 5 years.
what I'm trying to get is the early retirement package from PlayEast. You know?
Well, in that
If I
case,
go early.
it's times by 5 for 10 years.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, will you come find me?
I know where you live.
Yeah.
I know where you live.
Well, we'll, you know, Jan and I are both, you know, we make sure that our contributions and the contributions we make, we stay pretty close to home with our contributions. So PlayEast is on the list, so. So anyway, thanks for the memories. It goes something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, don't think.
Technically, you didn't make it to when the 10-year starts, we need the pin back.
Gotta come in July.
Hey, look, I'm wearing that, our Wood Village 75th anniversary,
So
so.
just, I guess, quick follow-up. So that would mean in our September meeting, our vice chair would lead the meeting. We would have an election, right? I don't think anything in there is just.
I think they would appoint from
They would
amongst their
appoint,
own.
yeah,
And
a
we
chair and a
will,
vice
as Wood
chair.
Village, in our next newsletter, then advertise for the position.
Well,
Or I can't remember who was
Your community.
Yeah, he's the elected.
Well, we can swap it out where then Counselor Smith, you'd be the council rep, so then we'd be speaking the community.
Oh.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to give like 90 days notice.
Can you tell nobody wants you to go?
I've retired about 3 times from things.
Well, why quit now? Clearly not good at it.
Yeah, well, that's why, you know, I only got a shelf life of about 3 or 4 years, and then I gotta move on. You guys,
Miss you, John, I'll miss you.
well, it's been fun. It's fun doing this work.
last thing I gotta say, so we do also take a summer break. So we don't meet in July and August. Obviously, July because of the holiday, and August because we're just wrapping up all the summer stuff. So our next scheduled meeting will be in September. Nevertheless, in those both months, you'll still get emails with staff reports from me. And again, if you guys have any questions, you can reach out. We can have some one-on-ones and things of that. So don't feel that it's just, oh, we have to say anything. But again, we can reach out.
All right, we're adjourned.
Yeah, he was already standing up before you.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding.